Let's just be real for a second. You're probably here because you're just tired, you know? Tired of that little voice in your head that questions every single move you make. You've probably tried all the usual stuff, the motivational quotes, telling yourself you're awesome in the mirror, but that feeling, that I'm not enough feeling, it just keeps coming back, doesn't it?
Yeah, why is that? It's the most common piece of advice on the planet, but it feels so hollow. It just doesn't stick. You might feel good for a minute, but the second you're about to speak up in a meeting or try something new, bam, there it is again, that doubt. So what is really going on? Okay, I really want you to hear this because this is the game changer. Self-doubt doesn't mean you're broken. It's not some fundamental flaw in your character. It is a system, a program that got installed in your brain a long, long time ago. And you know what the best part is? Anything that was learned can be unlearned. So if we're gonna dismantle this thing, we have to become detectives. We gotta go back to the scene of the crime, back to the beginning to figure out how you learn to question the very person you are always meant to be. Just think about it for a second. When you were a little kid, you weren't second-guessing yourself. You were just you. You'd sing at the top of your lungs, ask a billion questions, build weird stuff out of mud. You were curious and brave. That hesitant, cautious, doubting voice, that's not your factory setting. It's an aftermarket add-on you never asked for. So where did it come from? Well, it was planted in these tiny little moments that probably felt huge at the time, like getting corrected by a teacher in front of everyone, or being told you were too sensitive when you were just feeling something deeply. Maybe someone laughed at you when you were really excited about an idea, or you just got the message that you had to be perfect to be loved. These are the moments. These are the seeds of doubt. And to survive those moments, we got smart. We developed a tool. The psychologist Carl Jung had a great name for it, the persona. It's basically the social mask we learn to wear. It's the good kid mask, the funny one mask, the no drama employee mask. We put it on to fit in, get that approval, and, most importantly, avoid feeling that pain of rejection ever again. And right there, that's the problem. The bigger the gap between the real you and the mask you're wearing, the more room there is for self-doubt to grow. It's like an echo chamber. The more you perform, the less you trust your own voice. The more you hide, the more you start to believe that the real you isn't worth seeing. So this gap gives a certain voice a microphone and turns the volume way up. We all know this voice. It's our inner critic. But let's pull back the curtain and figure out what its agenda really is, what this voice of fear is actually trying to do. Does any of this sound familiar? You're not smart enough for that. Who do you think you are to even try? Oh, just wait until you're more ready. It's the same old playlist, right? It's designed to keep you small, to keep you waiting, to keep you safe in your comfort zone. But, and this is a huge but, what if the inner critic isn't actually your enemy? What if it's more like a really, really anxious bodyguard? It's an ancient part of your brain that remembers the sting of that teacher's comment or being laughed at, and its job is to make sure that never happens again. It's trying to keep you safe, it's just using a really old, really outdated playbook. And this is where the real work begins. Jung said it perfectly. As long as this whole system runs on autopilot in the background, it controls you, and you just think, well, I guess this is just how I am. But the moment you shine a light on it, the moment you become conscious of it, you're not calling it fate anymore. You're calling the shots. So instead of fighting it, we're gonna start a new conversation. Next time you hear that voice, just pause. Don't engage, maybe even write down exactly what it's saying. Then ask it a couple questions. Whose voice is this really? Is it my mom's, my old boss's? And then, hey, what are you so afraid of? What are you trying to protect me from? And finally, you respond with kindness, but also firmness. Thanks, I hear your concern, but I'm in charge now. We're safe. Starting that conversation opens a door to something even deeper. Because to get to real, lasting confidence, we have to be brave enough to look at all the pieces of ourselves we've shoved into the basement. It's time to reclaim what Jung called our shadow. So the shadow is basically a treasure chest of all the parts of you that you were told were too much. Maybe your ambition was called bossy, so you hid it. Your creativity was weird, so you toned it down. Your anger was unladylike or disruptive, so you swallowed it. But here's the thing, these parts don't go away. They just start running the show from behind the scenes, fueling that doubt. And this is maybe the biggest takeaway of all. We think we have to get rid of our flaws to be confident. We try to become this polished, perfect version of ourselves. But that's not it. True confidence, the kind that doesn't get rattled, it doesn't come from being perfect. It comes from being whole. It comes from owning every single piece of yourself, the good, the bad, and the messy. So I want you to really think about this for a second. What's the version of you that you keep under wraps? Is it the loud, passionate you, the deeply sensitive you, the unapologetically ambitious you? Because that hidden version, that's where your power is.
Okay, so we get it now. We see the system. We've met the critic. We've even said hello to the shadow. Now for the most important part. What do we actually do? How do we start acting differently, like right now?
First, we have to flip this one massive lie on its head. The lie is, I have to feel confident before I can act. That's not how it works. That's never how it's worked. The truth is the exact opposite. You have to act in order to feel confident. Confidence isn't the cause of action, it's the result of it. So here is a dead simple tool you can use anytime that voice pops up. It's 3 steps. 1, name it. Just say to yourself, hello, self-doubt. I see you. This separates you from the voice. 2, frame it. Ask, okay, what's the old story you're trying to sell me right now? This helps you see the pattern. And 3, the most important step, reclaim it. Take one tiny, small, manageable action that goes against the doubt and aligns with the real you. And what's so cool about this is it's not just some psychological trick, it's actual biology. Every single time you take that small action despite the fear, you are sending a new message to your nervous system. You're physically rewiring your brain and teaching it through experience that it is actually safe to be you. It is safe to take up space. For so much of our lives, we're looking outside of ourselves for the answers, for permission, for validation, but Jung just hits the nail on the head here. The dreaming stops and the real change begins when we finally get the courage to look inside. And that's exactly what you've been doing here. You're waking up. And at the end of the day, getting rid of self-doubt isn't some lightning bolt moment. It's not magic, it's a decision you make over and over and over again. It's the decision to stop letting fear call the shots, the decision to choose your true self over the mask. So I'll leave you with this one question. What's one thing you would do just this week if you decided to fully, completely trust yourself? What phone call would you make? What project would you start? What would you finally say out loud? The person you were before you learned to doubt, they're still in there, and they're ready. It's time to act like it.